Kids in carpool, don't let mom and dad fool you. They were up on the bar at one point dancing to this one back in the day.
I agree.
Don't let them fool you.
I love it.
Stick around in the 8 o'clock hour. We're going to talk to Cole Kubelik. Coming up about the SEC slate for the weekend. Good slate of college football games, not only in the SEC. When you look around college football, they got some good ones to talk about. We'll preview them with Cole coming up here on OTB. Song of Purple and Gold, about 25 minutes away from now. Capital Partners bringing you that segment each and every week here on Friday's edition of OTB. We're giving away free beer each hour. Get over to Mockler Beverage social media. Find out what the hashtag is. Make sure to give them a like and follow Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Get back to the huddle driven by the Bayou 4 group. Every Friday, Hunt Palmer from the LSU Sports Radio Network is in with us. Good morning, my friend. How are you?
Terrible. Cubs losing 10 last night. Just the writing's on the wall. Got to find a way. Starts today, 1:20.
I thought my man Garrett was going to get after your boy Schwarber the other night in a little pitcher-batter duel there.
Remember Reds?
Garrett?
You played for the Reds.
Big baseball guy.
Remember the big boy that charged the Pittsburgh Pirates dugout and started the fight with the big pitcher?
Oh yeah, that was him that ran away, kind of jokingly from Schwarber.
Yeah.
Okay, I was wondering why he felt comfortable enough to run away, but it's because he's already
trolling.
Yeah, he's already
trolling.
proven his will to fight. I had no idea baseball was going on, so thank you for reminding me, Hunt.
It's very much going on.
Yes, the heat of it. This is when even if you don't like it, you start to like it now. No, false.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I can watch a little playoffs for sure.
T-Bob and I think that Burrow dices up Vandy tomorrow. What's your expectation for this offense?
I was listening to y'all's show on Monday.
Oh, thanks, man. You listen?
Ross, I love Ross. He's awesome. When he goes, Derek Mason's, he's a guru defensively. I was like, he's not a guru of anything. They're terrible.
They are terrible.
They're
bad. Come on.
They're bad.
I think they're so. I got asked on Wednesday in a spot I do in Shreveport every week. Like, okay, paint the picture for Vanderbilt to give LSU some trouble. I was like, all right, it's 11 o'clock in the morning.
That traffic jam hold up the team bus.
Yeah, the stadium's like not really buzzing. Like,
no, it's like a high
full,
school stadium.
It's not buzzing, and they've got a senior quarterback and a pretty good running back. Burrow
tight end
throws a couple.
They got Pinkney. He's a big NFL
Burrow
guy.
throws a couple that get tipped and intercepted, and it's a game in the fourth quarter. But realistically, when you look at this game, the Jimmies and Joes aren't close, and the coaches aren't close, and I have so much trust in Burrow leading the team and being focused and playing well that I just don't think that Vanderbilt sticks around.
I was at the St. Aloysius Men's Club last night, and one of the questions obviously was about the freshman running backs. And I said, look, man, if there's any doubt that you can't protect number 9, you won't be on the field, because the top priority for an offensive member of LSU football right now is protecting the quarterback, protecting the program. Is what Burrow is right now. Is that what you make of these freshman backs? Do you anticipate them getting a couple more reps this weekend?
I do. Davis Price is going to be the second running back eventually. It's not this week. It may not be against Utah State, but down the line somewhere, he'll take over. He, as we talked about last week, nothing you can tell from the stat sheet, nothing you can tell from the score. You're playing an FCS team that's not any good, so none of that matters. But you can tell when someone does something that catches your eye. He caught my eye last week with the way he ran. He's physical, he's fast, he's quick. Like, he's going to be a really good player, and he will eventually assume some sort of role in this team. But you're right. If you're not going to block, as Ed Ogeron said earlier this week, it's just hard to call a running play because we're so good at throwing.
I know.
And so
it feels like a video game.
Yeah, it's on the lowest difficulty level.
It's only going to continue.
I know. Well, we were talking on Hester's show yesterday. I was like, what's his final completion percentage going to be this year? And I was like, probably like high 60s. I mean, it's 82 right now.
I mean, look, I'm going to give my guy credit. I think he stays in the 70s. Like, he showed me enough. I don't think it's crazy
impossible to me. Like, Breeze can do it.
Breeze did it. You know who did it? And it's one of the reasons why I was so high on him.
Chad
and
Pennington?
Now it blew up in my face. No, I do love making Chad Pennington completion percentage jokes. I am 1,000% with you there. No, Johnny Manziel, his senior year or whatever, his last year had a 73 completion percentage.
He would push the ball down the field.
Yes, and I remember being like, that's why he's going to be a good quarterback. I backed a lot of bad quarterbacks. I was a big Cam Newton guy. I was a big Jameis Winston guy. I was a big Johnny Manziel guy.
Winston, that guy.
I'm not a very good quarterback evaluator. Thankfully, there's not much to evaluate with Burrow, right? You just that he's good because the numbers tell us.
Yeah, and just peeking ahead, if you can keep Tua and Burrow healthy, that will be an NFL football game. That's the two best passing quarterbacks in college football with bad defenses with really good wide receivers.
Oh, are we calling Alabama bad defense now?
Yeah. I don't think that their defensive backs can guard LSU's wide receivers, and I don't think LSU's defensive backs can guard their wide receivers for 4 quarters. I think it's going to be a shootout.
You know what? I agree with both those statements. I think that
shootout with Alabama. I won't know what planet I'm on.
Over-under could be 70 in that game with those two quarterbacks.
Yeah, Bama. You are right that it's not bad relative to Bama. Normally, yes, I do think that injuries and everything else, departures, it is Helinski, a true freshman quarterback from South Carolina, put up 31 first downs, which is tied for the most in the Saban era last week.
What else are you looking for tomorrow?
Let's see what they do at the safety spot. I interviewed Bill Bush for the pregame show, and this is all on the record stuff. He just said the first name he brought up was Kerry Vincent. So it sounds to me like they're going to move him back. So what do you do at the nickel? Do you bump one of the Fulton or Stingley in?
Don't mess with Stingley.
Yeah, I mean that's
so I thought that too, but then Gordy had some
what with Cardell Flott moving him outside, moving Stingley inside?
just because and I like Gordy's perspective on this because though he never really played, he does know secondary. And Flott seems to be perfectly positioned. He was saying that his body type is made for the outside.
Yeah. Well,
because he's long. Yeah. And I always think about the outside being tougher, but he was kind of saying that it's maybe harder to operate on that inside. And that when you look at Stingley, he looks like he could really fit in there in the slot. And so could Fulton. So they
Stingley
could go
and Fulton can
way.
do whatever you want.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Really. I mean, Stingley to me is the best DB on this team.
And this is another point that I talked about on Hester's show. It's like, when you think about the fact that Terrace Marshall's LSU's number 3, and you start thinking about LSU's secondary and how well LSU recruits and how well no one has 3 good cornerbacks.
Yeah, that's
and
so true.
he's the third option.
So true.
So he's a mismatch every time.
Right.
Like NFL teams sometimes have 3 good DBs. College teams don't. They've got usually like one guy they really trust, and then a second guy, and the third guy is like some guy that you recruited that is probably going to be good 2 years.
I wonder if there is an NFL team where they have like 3 great cornerbacks right now. I don't know that they do. It's just such a hard commodity to find. So yeah, that's a great point, Hunt. This LSU receiving core represents just like a terrifying mismatch because of the depth every week.
Every single snap they're out there.
Yeah.
How concerned are you about this defense? Like how concerned the overall unit?
Well, I think if they had to go out there today and play Alabama or even really play A&M, I would be, in Auburn to a degree, I would be concerned because they're just so beat up. I mean, you are missing so many guys from the front 7, and then you've lost a DB and you're thin there. I think when everyone's healthy, which is asking a ton, and a lot of times it doesn't happen, but if you can get Lawrence back and get Logan back and get Chason back, make sure Divinity's in there. If you can stay healthy, I think they'll be okay. They don't have to hold everybody to 10 points. They got to hold everybody to 24 points. I think they'll be okay. But right now, they're so beat up that, there is some concern.
Let's be clear, though. We do also operate in a day where defensive expectations have shifted. I think a lot of people are still in the 2011 mindset where Bama and LSU were holding people to like 8, 9, 10 points per game. Bama was really good last year. What were they, 16 points per game around then? So, like, even the best SEC defense will be around that 16 to 18 number. So you do have to just kind of adjust your overall expectations of what numbers make a great defense.
Sure, and if they're averaging 38 a game, man, why not?
Yeah, I mean, that's the point.
Yeah,
We're having to change the entire way we look at everything.
Yeah.
Because they're so good at throwing the football.
All right, so early kickoff tomorrow, which puts you on the air, 9 a.m.
9
Get you out of there.
More importantly, puts me off the air at 3:30 p.m.
Hey, you can watch Notre Dame.
I can watch Notre Dame in Georgia.
Tell me a little bit about so Tennessee, Florida. It used to be the headline game in this conference, but now this weekend Notre Dame is hosting, Georgia is hosting Notre Dame. Did you see Georgia 2 touchdown favorites there?
They are. There are 3 teams that the public loves. They love Alabama, Clemson, and Georgia, so they'll set the line accordingly. For me, I just think about, okay, I don't think it's totally ridiculous at this point to look at LSU and say, okay, we might be in the mix for the playoffs. So now I have to watch everybody and go, what do I need? If Notre Dame goes into Athens and wins, they're not going to lose because their schedule is trash. USC, awful. Stanford, not good. I don't think Michigan's any good. So they're not going to lose if they don't lose this weekend. So for me, if you're an LSU person, you got to pull for Georgia.
Yeah, especially because they're not going to get in with one loss after how they've kind of betrayed the playoff committee the last couple of times. But if they're undefeated, you're not going to be able to hold them out, to your point, Hunt.
Hunt, have a good call this weekend, man.
All right, guys, thanks.
We'll talk to you next Friday. Hunt Palmer every Friday here on OTB. We'll close that hour 1 next.